I'm going to share with you how I did this painting that includes some watercolor circles and some mindful drawing. You can get the handouts that I use by using the link in the description. The handouts include the circle design that I traced, how to do the bump pattern with some areas for you to practice, the colors in my favorite palette, and the supplies I recommend for mindful drawing. We'll start out with a relaxing video of the watercolor circles to music. Then I will explain how I did the mindful drawing. Let's get started. So I'm going to add some mindful drawing to this watercolor, and I'm going to use the bump pattern. So this handout is part of the membership, but I will have it for you as a link in the description so you can try out what we are working on. This is also a page from a book that I'm working on, and hopefully at some point we'll have the link in the description for where you can get this book. The book will have 48 different patterns that you can use to do things like what I'm showing you here, or to just do a drawing like what you see here in the example. So I'm going to use a Staedtler Mars Pigment Liner 0.5. It's a nice medium tip. And I'm going to put a little crocheted pencil grip on it to make it more comfortable. I do have a video, I'll put the link in the description, of how to make this even with a little handout. I love using these for drawings. I also use them on my Apple Pencil when I work on my iPad. For doing this, there's a couple different approaches. First, I'm going to start with the easiest, which is some of these enclosed spaces, and just see how the pattern goes. And then I'm going to have to decide what to do on the edges here. I could draw a line to stop, or I could do the pattern in a way that makes an interesting ending and then maybe connect with a line. We'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and just add the bump pattern. The bump pattern starts out with a bump. You put it anywhere along the edge of a shape, and then you just continue doing that same shape bigger and bigger, like the ripples of water. they're just going to travel across until they hit another side. Now you might be thinking, well, she's got 48 patterns, why don't we do a different pattern in every space? And we could do that, but then that would be a lot of decision making, and I want to keep it simple for one thing. And there's also a beauty to just having a simple pattern repeated over and over and looking at the interactions between all the areas that these patterns meet. So we're just going to do the bump pattern. So you can see I kind of ran out of space here where it bumped here. And I'm going to just continue it in any of the other little spots. So over here, there's not really room for the whole thing. Maybe I'll just put a couple curved lines. So let's try kind of nice to turn as you go. And let's go ahead and put a little bump right here. One of the things that you can vary is how much space you put between your lines. They could be really close together. They could have a little more openness or space. That's another variation that you can try. If your lines are a little wobbly or a little uneven, like they are here, that's just part of the beauty. To see how all those little imperfections kind of work together to make your work look more organic and make your work look more handmade. Resist the urge to judge how it's looking. Just let it happen. Let's try a bump here, and let's just see what happens as we get towards the edge, and then we'll make a decision on how to end it. One option, I could have just made a line that goes all the way around for the ending. Maybe let some of the watercolor circles stick out, or I could also let some of these lines stick out and then put a little box. So we're going to go here, maybe all the way to there. And then that becomes an area. I could just continue with that, but I think it would be more fun and look better if I just started a new pattern, a new bump. So maybe I'll do a bump here. So you don't have to continue that same start all the way through your design. If you get something like this and you want to keep going all the way here, you can. Or you could start maybe a new bump there. That's up to you. Let's see what it looks like though if I were to just continue the whole thing. And then I'm going to go ahead and continue it this way. So we got that corner done. And let's see. For this one, maybe I'll do something similar. Maybe I'll let one of the bumps come on out, and then I will finish off the rest. And maybe we'll make it come out towards the corner a little more this time. So maybe we'll let the bump go this direction. I'm just going to continue it until I get about a little bit more than what the line would do. So maybe one more. Then we'll let that line kind of come over and meet it. Don't worry if your line's not perfectly straight or even. That's part of the organic beauty of it. So now that I've made that line, I could start a new one, or I can just let this one fill in. I could start a new bump, or I could let this one just continue to go now, stopping at this edge instead of continuing all the way around. Another one that maybe I'll just put a few curved lines in here, maybe a curved line in there, maybe a couple curved lines here and there. Alright then, let's go ahead and make a bump here, and we'll just see what happens when we get towards the edge. Alright, so I'll keep going that direction, but I'm kind of curious about what's going to happen here. So curiosity, really important to keep yourself curious. And that's what keeps your work interesting. I don't have it all planned out. A lot of it is just left up to chance to see how things come together and meet. Much more fun than planning everything out in advance. All right, we're getting towards the end. So I think maybe here I will just connect those two and maybe start a new bump. Don't forget to get your free handouts using the link in the description. For this painting, I used my Roman Szmal mini palette with very similar colors to the colors I have in the handout, but I will add this information in the description. Thanks for being here, and don't forget to like and subscribe.